What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about the number one most desperate behavior I see from women. I keep meeting women, unfortunately, who think they can bait a man who doesn't want them with sex. It doesn't work. If you're going to have cheap sex in unestablished relationships, please do so because that's who you are and that's what you want to do, not to convince a man to like you or to see your value. I understand that some women have high libidos or voracious sexual appetites or even a thirst for variety. They may not see their bodies as temples but as tools for pleasure. And that's understandable. So keeping that in mind, just know that I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to women who find themselves attached after having encounters with a man. The women who hope for more. Never lay down with a man to convince him to like you or to see you as valuable. Don't do so to fabricate a connection with him. It doesn't work. Men connect with your spirit, your energy, and your essence, not your body. You could be a bedroom pro, and the man that you're putting all your best moves on would still go seek a woman out who makes him feel like a better, more capable person. So realize that that's where your value is. Be a woman who inspires him, not through sex, but through spirit and intellect. Out of pure desperation, so many women lay down with the man as if they're paying him for his time or they're giving him some kind of advance on the relationship, like a down payment or a deposit for his commitment, which often never comes. Some women are so busy trying to hook a man with sex that they've actually accidentally hidden the better qualities that would have hooked him in the first place. I mean, think about it. If you don't talk much because you text, and you don't talk much if you're rolling around, when does he have time to discover the best parts of you? He doesn't know you're gifted. He's not aware of your passions. He's unfamiliar with your intellect. He hasn't discovered your talents or even found out that you two may even share the same dreams. And maybe that's because you're too busy getting tapped while Cardi B's Please Me plays in the background. Any woman can lay down, but not just any woman can inspire, motivate, and empower and enlighten a man. Not any woman can excite or entertain his mind. The men who ultimately end up in relationships are finding those things in the women who offer more, or make him wait long enough to discover more. Many of you don't know this, but when I'm not making videos or at my full-time job, I'm usually on the phone coaching people through their dating and relationship issues. I can't tell you how many clients I've had tell me, well, I didn't really want to do it, but he wanted to, and I was afraid he'd stop talking to me. Or, I really liked him and I didn't want to upset him, so we did it. Or, I wasn't ready and he told me nothing would change, and then he changed. I really care about my clients, I really care about my viewers and my subscribers. So that can be pretty frustrating for me sometimes. Sometimes people sense they see an attitude from me in my videos. Trust me, it's not condescension. Condescension would be like saying, I know a thing and you don't. Haha. It's not condescension, it's not cockiness, it's concern. It's frustration for my viewers and my clients. Much more often than I like to, I meet women contemplating suicide or self-medicating behind the trauma or the abuse that they've suffered in bad relationships. Many of those relationships started with toxic sexual encounters. Toxic meaning ill-advised, unwise sexual decisions that they made to try to get a guy to like them, to earn their spot in his life. That becomes a pattern in these relationships. But most don't end up making it to the relationship phase. They often die as negative situationships that take a lot of you with them. I'm not just out here trying to control women's bodies or whatever sexist twist some of you might put on it. I'm trying to prevent the emotional and the mental destruction I see far too often. Too many ladies are giving it up on credit to men with no credibility. Don't let a man treat you like one of those cheap car lots. You know the ones. They be like, we finance no credit, bad credit, push, pull, or drag your untrustworthy, unestablished, and unemployed ass down here to the car lot and get a free car today with no interest and no down payment. Don't be that car. I was listening to a Nicki Minaj verse on the radio the other day, and in that verse she said something to the effect of, I don't date honey, cookie on tsunami, all my N-words wife me when they get this good punani. With all due respect to Miss Minaj, no they don't. Most women do have to date, and the men who commit to her don't commit to her because she knows how to throw it back. They commit to her because of her millions of dollars. They commit to her because of her status. They commit to her because of her celebrity, and then they commit to her because they genuinely like the person she is. I hate the idea that women are being educated like this because real women who are giving up their good punani ultimately end up writing me asking me why it didn't work, why it didn't hook him. And it's because most men who don't want you won't change their mind because of your good bedroom skills. However, they will string you along to keep hitting it on a regular basis. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the comment section if you've given up good punani as she calls it, only to be strung along for weeks, months, or years at a time by a guy who never wanted to commit to you, even though you gave him your all. Put a 1 in the comment section. And just to be clear, those of you who did get wifed up should understand something. It wasn't your orifices that did it. It was that and your looks coupled with your mind, your attitude, your spirit, your personality, your gifts, and your energy. A woman's true value is in her intangibles. You know, those things that a man can't fondle or penetrate. Many of you don't hunt or fish, so you don't actually know how bait works. Metaphorically speaking, if you go fishing without a hook, a line, or a reel, and you just throw the bait in the water, did you just catch a fish or did you just feed a fish? Without a hook, you've done nothing more than make a donation into that fish's belly. As much is true for any animal one might hunt or any roaming man. If he's not hooked by something in you, then the sex is just a free meal. It's like if new employees got their paychecks on the first day. They have no incentive to show up the second day to work hard if they don't like the job. In fact, as long as they can draw a paycheck and come to work only on payday, they'll keep that going. The new man that you're crushing on may not like or want the job, and paying him up front doesn't increase your chances. Many times women say something like, well, I thought he liked me, not realizing that like isn't a strong enough emotion for some men. Many of us like McDonald's, but we wouldn't move into one or even eat it exclusively every day. Some of these men see y'all like a quick meal at McDonald's. The difference is McDonald's isn't hurt when you order something on the dollar menu, or you go to Burger King the next day to order something else cheap. However, a great number of women are very hurt after they realize that they've been treated like something off the dollar menu, or a man goes somewhere else to get a quick meal the next day. The confusion can be just as painful. Many of you women feel connected, loved, and wanted when a man is sweating on top of you, only to feel thrown away when the man that you hoped would move forward suddenly starts to move backward after he gets what he wanted. To feel close or validated again, many of those women just offer themselves up even more, hoping to salvage any chance of a relationship, hoping they didn't get used, hoping that they didn't waste their time. When they notice that's not working, they contact somebody like me or another YouTuber and they say, he's acting hot and cold. What do I do? I often have to tell them, he's not acting hot and cold. He's just responding to the only part of you he takes any value in and discarding the rest. Listen, ladies, if you want to hook a man, show him who you are. And if he's not interested in those details, find someone who is. Because even if you succeed in hooking a guy with your body, if he's too dumb to recognize or seek out those other qualities, most of who you are will go unappreciated and unrecognized in the relationship, even if you attain one. Trying to overcompensate for the lack of a mental or an emotional bond is the #1 desperate behavior I see in women. It's also the most destructive. From what I've witnessed, rejection seems to hurt a whole lot worse after a man has recently rolled up off of you, only to tell you that you're not good enough or that he doesn't want a relationship, that he doesn't see a future with you. With that said, just understand something. Acting desperate isn't just about what people think or how you look. It affects most of all how men treat you and ultimately how you see yourself. Some damage is avoidable, ladies, and I would prefer that you avoid it. So to whom it may concern or whoever needs to hear it, I say this in absolute love. Please, 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 get your shit together. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at KevHick24 at Instagram.com. I'll get with y'all later.